All right guys, so today we're gonna break down step by step on how to achieve this taper fade, and we're gonna go ahead and do some shear work, clean up the top and the sides. I highly suggest that as you watch this tutorial, that you print out the kinetics and follow along with those kinetics right next to you. And let's jump right into it.
So I wanna know how to double y'all's money as a barber.
Haircut looks good, but you're sending your client home with no product.
We're barbers looking out for barbers. Now imagine making a few extra $100 a week, but not from doing more haircuts, simply just styling your clients with a high quality product.
For all you barbers, we're officially offering our matte clay at wholesale, where you're gonna be able to double your money. So if you're ready, head over to fadedculture.com.
I brought a little bit extra.
Write this down, Ruben, because this is a serious prescription. Listen up, hurry.
Okay,
You're gonna take one for the next 63 days. Hurry, take one of these. It's gonna be one in the AM, one in the PM. Make sure you take the one in the AM, because this is not gonna work if you don't take the one in the AM. 63 days.
One in the AM,
63 days.
one in the PM.
Yes, 1 AM, 1 PM.
Gotcha.
All right, so first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna establish my perimeter. Coming to this fringe area, I'm gonna just remove a little bit, nothing crazy. I want it to match up more or less with the C-cups. As you can see, it's not much. The advantage of cutting it dry is I can see exactly where it's going to lay. It's perfect. Now it lines up with the C-cup. Go ahead and soak everything. I wonder if like at that point we can have Tosh. So I'm gonna go ahead and create my section, start separating the back from the front. The crown is right here. I'm gonna go towards that ear. Go ahead and repeat that to the other side. Again, make sure that you have those kinetics printed out. Make sure that you already ran through all of the theory so you understand a lot of what's going on. The printables that it takes to get cleaner sections, like tension. Okay, so right here in the back, combing it all down, I'm gonna establish where I want my fade to end, which is right here where the occipital bone's at. So now that I finished working to the right side, continue working from the center to the left side now. And body position is a kinetic. As I'm moving to the side, I'm also slightly stepping with it. As you can see, it's not much that I'm cutting. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and separate the sides from the top. And use the back length to help me trim the sides. And for this instance, because of this particular style, I'm gonna grab a little bit towards the front of that side section and leave it untouched until the very end. When it's actually time to style, I can always come back and refine that. But at least I don't run the risk of cutting off too much. All right, so first I'm gonna establish where I want my taper to end, just the way I did on the back side. About right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab a section from this back side. You can see right here, this is my guide. I have my guide back here. It's a little bit what I'm just connecting. All right, now that I'm finished with the back and the sides, go ahead and resaturate, split it down the middle, and connect the top to the sides. You should see the guide right there. So now, since I started connecting the sides to the top, all that's left is this center section that hasn't been touched. So now splitting this, grabbing horizontal sections. I'm gonna see my guide I should be able to see my guide from the very edge of this section, which is right there. It's the shortest. From there, I can just cut that center section. Comb that back so it's out of my way. I could also step right here from the side just to get cleaner horizontal sections. Remember, you want each section about a comb's width. Again, finding your guide on that edge, and just point cut the rest. All right, now it's time for me to dry all of it and then begin my clipper work. And priority is clipper work here, so as long as this is fully dry, I can proceed with the actual clipper work. This is still a little damp, which is okay. I can come in and still add a little bit of product. That's not gonna affect me as I'm putting my fade in. I'm gonna go ahead and begin with the back taper. As you can see where I established my line, that's where the taper is gonna end. Again, highly encourage you that you have the clipper kinetics out now as we begin the clipper work. Starting with the lever fully closed, I'm gonna set in my first guideline. Pressure is a kinetic. Make sure you keep that one in mind. My pressure is very soft here. As I proceed with the fade, now opening up the lever, I'm gonna use a little bit of clipper tilt. Flaring up in that oval motion as we hit the top of this guideline. Now continuing the process, I got my one guard, lever fully open. Now I got my 1.5 guard, lever still fully open. Again, now that I've approached where I want my fade to end, I'm gonna use a little bit of clipper over comb to remove a little bit of that length that's left. It's at this point that you should have 2 guidelines. We're gonna start with that top one, work our way down. Using my half guard, I'm gonna go ahead and close the lever just slightly, putting it into a 3/4 position. And again, my mindset is already to start blending. So I'm gonna be even more soft with this guard. I'm gonna continue this process, leaving the lever in that 3/4 position, but now having my one guard. There's very little that I feel I need to touch up, but I'm just gonna continue with the process. I was able to blend most of it with that half guard at 3/4. Again, that should always be your mindset. And finally, for that final line, starting with my lever fully closed. And because this last line is tedious, I'm gonna break down this section in half, starting just on this left section of the head. Starting with the lever again, fully closed. Again, now my clipper tilt is changing. My pressure is changing. Now halfway. And finally fully open. As I'm getting this high into the fade, utilizing mostly just the corners of my clipper. Now I'm going to continue focusing on this right side of the head, continuing that same process with the lever fully closed. Finally fully open. Now I'm going to continue removing the bottom hair. Now using my electric shaver to get that much closer to the scalp. So one thing to mention here is once you pass the electric shaver through once, it's harder for you to see the direction of the grain, so you can always use the back of your fingers to get a feel for it, to ensure that we are always shaving against that grain. Now I'm gonna proceed with the side taper and then the actual lineup on the sides, and then we'll leave any touch-up work to the very end after I've styled it. Now I'm gonna continue with the side taper. The thing with this particular taper is we're still gonna leave the C-cups, but we're gonna go fairly higher than what a normal taper that you see with the C-cups. So because of that, I'm starting off my first guideline with heavy corners. Now the lever is fully open, and again, utilizing mainly just the corners, even just to set in my guide. Now with my one guard, again, being very mindful of that C-cup. I don't really want to fully touch it until I get to my 1.5 guard or even 2 guard, just because I want to leave it darker. Now with my 1.5 guard, as you can see, my shear work, I was able to finish. This is where I wanted my taper to end. That's what I'm working my way up to. Now I'm gonna slap that 2 guard on, still lever fully open, and just touch that corner a little bit. Using my 1/2 guard, 3/4, focusing on that second guide. Now with my 1 guard. Closing the lever fully. All right, so now my lever's at 3/4. And finally, fully open.
I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot of
All right, now that we are done with the taper as a whole, we finished up our shear work. I'm adding a little bit of our shave gel so I can proceed with the shave. And from there, again, we'll come in with the style and then do any final touch-up work if needed. So utilizing my opposite hand to help build tension for this razor. Notice I'm always behind the razor pulling tension. All right, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of water. It's still damp from earlier, so nothing too crazy. And then just so it allows me to work the clay all the way down into the grain, so that way we just don't slap the product on top. That's just gonna weigh the hair down as the day goes on. Make sure that you really emulsify the product into your hands. You don't want no clumps of product in your hands, and then you can work it all the way down from the grain up. Because I want even distribution of airflow, I'm gonna go ahead and slap on the diffuser. Now that I have the product in here, I can now step back. This is where you need to view your client off the mirror just to get a different perspective, a different angle, a different view, and clean up any stray hairs or any touch-up that you might still need to do on the fade. All right guys, so that's pretty much it. Hopefully y'all understood how we applied our kinetics and our fade system. That pretty much wraps it up for this taper fade with shear work.